Let's go to the next part.
First, sound waves. All sound must have a source, something which causes the disturbance that creates a sound wave. Speaking is a good example. This is sound created by a human's vocal cords. Also, sound can be created by mechanical means, such as a stereo, or by simple means, such as when one object strikes another. Having been created, sound waves travel outward from their source. Their movement and speed vary depending upon the medium they're traveling through. Sound waves can move through all four states of matter: solids, liquids, gases, and plasma. However, they can't move through a vacuum. So please remember that despite Hollywood's best efforts to prove otherwise, in numerous science fiction movies, there's no sound in space.
Okay. So what is this part about? This part is about, what did she say in the beginning? She's going to compare sound waves with radio waves and microwaves. And this part is about sound waves, okay? All kind of sounds must have a source, okay? Which means something that creates that sound. Speaking is created by using humans' vocal cords, and there are mechanical ways to make sounds, such as stereo, or one, and when one object hits the other, it makes a sound, okay? And then they move, okay, through mediums. They can move through all four states of matter, which is solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. But they can't move through vacuum. Okay, that's what this part is about. All sound must have a source, something which causes the disturbance that creates the sound wave. All sound must have a source. What's a source? Source is where you can get something from. Source is where you can get something from. Source, okay? Where you can get the sound. So what makes the sound? Speaking is a good example. This is sound created by a human's vocal cords. Vocal cords. What does vocal mean? Vocal means relating to using human's voice. Vocal cords are the part in your throat which vibrates when you speak, when you make your voice. Also, sound can be created by mechanical means, such as a stereo, or by simple means, such as when one object strikes another. Sound can be created by mechanical means. What does mechanical mean? Mechanical means using machines, okay? What's a machine? Machine has parts which move when it works, okay? And it gets its power from electricity or an engine, all right? That's mechanical. Mechanical means. What's a means? Means is a way of doing something, such as a stereo. Stereo. What's a stereo? Stereo means two, okay? Stereo means an audio system which has two speakers, okay? Having one speaker is mono. Having two speakers is stereo, okay? Or by simple means, such as when one object strikes another. What does strike mean? Strike means to hit. Having been created, sound waves travel outward from their source. Having been created, what does that mean? Having been created. It means after they have been created. Okay? Sound waves travel outward. What does outward mean? Word means the direction. Outward means the outside direction. From their source. Their movement and speed vary depending upon the medium they're traveling through. Their movement and speed vary. What does that mean? Vary is a verb for variety. Okay, means it means to have different things of a kind. Okay, so vary means there are a lot of things in this kind. Depending upon the medium they're traveling through. Depending upon, what does depend upon mean? If one thing depends upon another, that another thing affects or decides the thing. Do you understand? If A depends upon B, B affects A or decides A. The medium they're traveling through, depending upon the medium. What is medium? Medium is something that is in the middle, okay? It's a Latin word. A word of a Latin origin, okay? Something that is in the middle. So if the thing that you use to do something else is the medium. Why? Because you can achieve that thing through the tool that you're using. So the tool is in the middle, so you call it the medium. So in this case, the medium is the way they travel, okay? The way they travel, or through what they travel, okay? Sound waves can move through all four states of matter. All four states of matter. What's a state? State is a condition of matter. What is a matter? Matter is a physical thing. Okay? Solids, liquids, gases, and plasma. Solid. What is solid? Solid is the state where the matter has a particular form, okay? The form doesn't change. And liquid is the state of a thing, a state of matter, okay? When the form changes according to the container, all right? And it flows. And gas is the state where the matter doesn't have any specific form, nor does it fall to the ground. Okay? And plasma. Plasma is the state between the stars. Okay? It has gas, and then there are electrically charged particles inside it. Okay, and it's neutral. That state is the plasma. All right. However, they can't move through a vacuum. However, what does that mean? You use however when you want to talk about something that contrasts what you have just said. However, they can't move through a vacuum. What is a vacuum? You know what a vacuum cleaner is? Vacuum means a space without air or other gases, okay? How does the vacuum cleaner work? The motor gets the air out from the container of the vacuum cleaner. So the container inside the vacuum cleaner is empty, right? So that's an unstable state. So the air from outside comes in to fill it. Okay? While doing that, they drag the dust. That's how it works, the vacuum cleaner. So please remember that despite Hollywood's best efforts to prove otherwise in numerous science fiction movies, there's no sound in space. Despite, what does that mean? Despite means after the thing you say, after despite, the content of the main clause is surprising. That's what it means, okay? Despite Hollywood's best efforts to prove otherwise. Effort, what is effort? If you make effort, you try to do something. Hollywood's best efforts to prove otherwise. What does that mean, prove otherwise? Prove otherwise means, in this case, proving that sound can travel through vacuum. Okay? In numerous science fiction movies, what does numerous mean? Numerous means in a large number. Numer means number. Okay? Science fiction movies. What's a fiction? Fiction is a story which has imaginary people and events in it. Okay? Rather than real people and events. Let's go to the next part.
Some sounds are louder than others. The difference in sound loudness is referred to as amplitude. Why are some sounds perceived as louder than others? First, loudness is a measure of a sound's intensity. The source of the sound determines its intensity. For instance, a jet engine creates sounds louder than a person whispering. Loudness also depends on distance. The farther sound travels, the less intensity it has. Third, loudness is related to the medium the sound travels through. Let's see. Sound waves traveling through gas, such as the atmosphere, are louder than those passing through solids or liquids. Finally, sound waves can reflect off objects, which is why you can sometimes hear echoes.
What is this part about? This part is about why some sounds are louder than others. Okay? What are the factors that decide the loudness of a sound? First is what? The intensity of the sound, okay? And the second one was what? The distance it travels. And the third one is the medium that the sound travels through. So if it travels through gas, it's louder than when it travels through solids or liquids, okay? And then the professor talks about another feature of sound waves, which is reflecting. Some sounds are louder than others. The difference in sound loudness is referred to as amplitude. The difference in sound loudness is referred to as amplitude. What does that mean, refer to? If you refer A to B, that means you call A B. Do you understand? The difference in sound loudness is referred to as amplitude, means the difference in sound loudness is called amplitude. Do you understand? Why are some sounds perceived as louder than others? What does perceive mean? Perceive means to see something or notice something or recognize something. Why are some sounds recognized as louder? First, loudness is a measure of a sound's intensity. Is a measure. What is measure? Measure is how great something is, okay? The source of the sound determines its intensity. The source of the sound determines. What does this determine mean? Determine means to decide, alright? For instance, a jet engine creates sounds louder than a person whispering. For instance, what does that mean? For instance is the same as for example. Instance is an example or an occurrence of something. A jet engine creates sounds. What is a jet engine? Jet engine is the kind of engine which forces out hot air or gas at the back, okay? And it's used in most modern aircrafts, okay? What is engine? Engine is the part of the machine that produces the power for the machine to move.